Hello everyone, I'm Metis Balaska and welcome to the stream. A bit of a rough start yesterday. Also, I noticed that I accidentally skipped Elizabeth when editing my last stream, but we'll try to rectify that. Hey Ayumu, we'll rectify that later. Right now we got the story mode to continue. There. Oh yeah, actually, I did notice that my input was a little too, was a little bit too high. So let's fix that gain to about. Hello.
This program will be brought.
Hello. It's still a bit high. Maybe about 8. Hello? Hello? Yeah, that looks better.
Persona 4
Oh.
Arena Ultimax.
Forgot to switch again. I did look up a walkthrough just to make sure I don't waste my time, waste our time with the certain something. So let us resume. Oh no, wait. Bookmark. In any case, I need to concentrate on this case for now. I'm sure I'll understand the meaning behind what she said when the time comes. I must proceed. Though this bizarre place looks nothing like the Yasagami High I attended, the building seems strangely familiar as I run through it. Teddie had appeared on the monitor in the music room. From the looks of it, he appeared to be behind what's happening. But I heard Risei's voice over the school's PA system before my fight with Yosuke. If the school works anything like the real one, I can make a good guess as to where Teddie and Risei are.
Maybe the announcement room.
But of course, things aren't that easy. Those invisible wolves keep getting in my way whenever I go. Ugh. That design in place. Yeah, don't tell us where we need to go. Just force us to go there with invisible walls. Am I right, guys? It seems that some of these walls don't let anybody through, no matter if they won or lost their fights. Every single time I run into one, I'm forced to take another path. Have you never played a video game before? It's like my route. It's like my route is already set for me.
I feel like I'm being led somewhere.
I stopped for a moment in the hallway out of the I stopped for a moment in the hallway out of the practice building and mutter to myself while I take a look around. Where are they trying to lead me? At that moment...
You there! You're one of them participants in that Grand Prix thing, right?
A voice that I don't recognize at all breaks me from my eerie reverie. I instinctively jump back and draw my sword in surprise.
Whoa! What's the big idea? You could poke someone's eye out swinging that thing around.
Hello, totally normal students. I turn and see a girl that I've never seen before. Was she part of that crowd? No, she looks like a real person. She was caught by surprise when I suddenly pointed my weapon at her. Although she flinches, her words don't lose any of their intensity. How bold of her. It may seem like an odd thing to say, but it's what suddenly crosses my mind. But this girl doesn't seem to have any intention of attacking me. I sheath my sword, but remain cautious.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it. What were you gonna do if you hurt one of the students here, huh? You can't go pulling that stuff without student council approval.
What kind of school approves using a sword?
All right, the jig is up. I'm putting the kibosh on this tournament right now.
Hey, wait, hold on a second. I'm not in this because I want to be. I'm trying to stop the tournament.
I'm trying to act non-threatening, but the girl continues to glare at me. Who in the world is this girl? She's wearing a Yasugami High uniform. She said something about the student council, but I don't recognize her. You don't encounter people here in this world that often. If that person is here, then they're either a persona user or...
Why are you here, by the way? Wait, did you fall inside a TV?
That's right. I may have put it a little differently, but if she can't enter a TV herself, the only possibility is someone threw her in. That was what happened during... that was... Bleh. That was what was happening in the murders from last year.
All inside a TV. What kind of nonsense is that?
She's not aware of it. But if she was as a persona user, I don't see why she'd hide that fact. If she was trying to keep that from me, she wouldn't have come to talk to me like this. Then does that mean she is a victim after all? I carefully choose my word as to avoid provoking the girl, and introduce myself.
I'm Yu Narukami. I was a second year at Yasugami High until last year.
Huh? Last year? But that uniform.
Oh no, this is kind of my usual equipment when I'm in the TV world.
Equipment?
Never mind. Forget it.
Well, if you were only around till last year, I ain't gonna blame you for not knowing. I'm the new student council president. Nice meeting you.
The student council president. If I'm remembering correctly, the student council elections should have taken place just before the holidays. I have no knowledge who won in any of those elections since I left Inaba before they took place. That reminds me, I didn't have any friends on the student council last year either. This girl may very well be the president. No reason not to believe her.
Now it's your turn to spill. You said you ain't in the tournament because you want to be. Then what are you doing here? And what's this tournament about in the first place?
I feel that if I don't explain things very clearly to her, it will only provoke her further. But trying to tell her everything about what's going on here will only confuse her. I leave out the fact that this place is inside the television, and tell her about the other things that are going on. First, I tell her about Teddie, that a friend of mine is likely the one who set this tournament up. The second, that I encountered some of my friends who were dragged into this as well, but they were acting strangely. And third, that my cousin Nanako, still in elementary school, may have been dragged into this mess. The girl calling herself the student council president seems skeptical while I talk, but eventually she sighs.
If I got this right, you didn't start this, but your friend did. Well, you don't seem like you're lying.
It seems that she somehow grasped the gist of what I'm trying to say. I thank her out of politeness, but she laughs and asks why I'm thanking her. There's still one more difficult task left at hand. How do I make her understand that all this is within another world, one accessed by going through a TV screen? Not exactly the easiest sell, is it? She still appears to be energetic, but it doesn't change the fact that she's in danger. I have to get her out of this world, no matter what.
Hey, that sounded like it came from the gym. I ought to tell you to go home, but I get that you're worried about your sis. Come on, let's go check it out.
We both start running at the same time. I reach my full running speed when then something occurs to me. I'm surprised to see this Miss President keeping pace right beside me. I'm sure that's not going to play into anything at all. Just standing in this world would be strenuous for a normal person, but she doesn't even seem out of breath. She's quite impressive. I take a moment to quietly praise the girl running next to me. Give me a sec, the gain still seems a bit high. Maybe 7? Yeah, straight up 7 seems good. Just let me know if it's too loud or too low. I'll try and fix it. We bursted to the gym where all the noise came from, but there's no one here. Instead, we see huge piles of stacked chairs. They're twisted and entwined everywhere on the open floor of the gym, forming huge towers that reach almost to the ceiling.
What is this? Who'd go to all this trouble?
The girl stares up at the chair, seemingly dumbfounded. Suddenly, the monitors in the gym flicker to life. And as I suspected, Teddie appears, again in that costume.
Oh, are you on a hot date, Sensei? Well, that's fine with me, of course. But shouldn't you keep your mind on the fighting? Whoa, you look so mortified. That's the face I was hoping to see.
He's not saying anything completely straight, but he is obviously hinting that he knows I'm worried about Nanako. I know that saving Nanako is important, but I can't leave Miss President here alone and abandon her to this world either. Still, I feel Teddie's word is causing me to doubt myself. Miss President raises her voice.
Hey, you! You're the ringleader of this mess, aren't you? What's the idea? Raising a ruckus like this without running it by the student council. Pack it in and clean all this up already.
She speaks as fast and clearly as she had when I first met her. After getting a clear look at her, I feel like I've come to realize where she gets her courage from. She truly wishes to protect her school. Her strong awareness of her duty is surpassing her fear. But Teddie on the monitor looks annoyed and sneers at Miss President. It's incredibly detestable. I can't believe that Teddie can even make such a malicious expression.
What's that tiny thing? I'm in the middle of an important conversation with Sensei. A yappy little mutt like you should be muzzled and sit in the corner. Sit, puppy, sit.
Yikes. He has absolutely no intention of dealing with her seriously. Miss President turns bright red in humiliation from being brushed off like that. This is enough. I take a step forward to put myself between the monitor and Miss President. Leave this to me.
I'll take it from here. It's all right. There's nothing to worry about.
Miss President's lips are trembling. She must be angry that there's nothing she can do herself. I don't want that anger to be in vain, so I turn to face Teddie on the
That
monitor.
was pretty harsh, Teddie. Hard to believe a womanizer like you would say such things.
Huh. What's so attractive about a shameless liar like her?
Liar? Do you know something about her?
The way he said that makes it sound like there's some history between the two of them. But as usual, he doesn't bother to give any details as to his answer. My mouse is in the way, I'm sorry.
Come on, Sensei. Your opponent's getting tired of waiting for you. With the next challenger, come on down!
After that line, another cloud of smoke rises from the floor. But this time, it is Yukiko who appears.
Oh, thank goodness you're safe. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Are you all right? Has anything odd happened to you?
Odd? No, I don't think so.
Yukiko seems alarmed to see me in a defensive posture. I feel my shoulders relax in relief as I shift my weight to stand normally. It seems that she hasn't been affected like Yosuke had. I didn't think I'd be that tense though. Now that's the Yukiko I remember. She's as sharp as always, exactly when we need her. She's not being confused. If she's not being confused, then I can immediately ask for her help. Pardon? I try to explain what I need from her.
Might be in here. I'm heading to the announcement room where Teddie is. I need you to protect this girl from me. She might be a victim of all this.
I motion towards Miss President standing next to me. Yukiko looks at me in surprise. I don't blame her though. But what Yukiko said next was even more surprising.
Why do I have to do that? It's not like I know her or anything.
Wow. I'm not going to help her because I don't know her? Is that really what she's saying? I can understand that she might be cautious when meeting someone for the first time, but would Yukiko really think that way? It's got to be the same as with Yosuke. The same uncanny sense of wrongness is coming back to me when I hear Yukiko speak.
Yukiko, not you too. Calm down and listen to me. Can you understand what I'm saying?
Huh? What are you saying all of a sudden? I can hear you clearly. What did you mean by you too?
When I try to question her, Yukiko's expression returns to normal. I can't tell anymore. She doesn't look like she's being controlled by someone. Am I overthinking this too much? At the very least, she doesn't seem enthusiastic about this P1 Grand Prix.
It's probably a trick the enemy is playing on us. They're trying to get us to fight each other. I'll say it one more time, Yukiko. I'd like you to protect this girl for me.
Sorry, but I don't know how to put this. It just feels like you're being really selfish.
What? Why do you draw that conclusion?
You always help people who have nothing to do with you, and I admire that. But where does that leave us? It's always your friends who get put in danger because of your self-centeredness.
I'm used to hearing her voice, but her words are scathing. I'm convinced now. There's no obvious change in her attitude like there had been with Yosuke, but something must be warping Yukiko's words too. The words may seem like a sound argument, but she means something else. I don't care if someone who isn't related to me gets hurt. That's definitely not something Yukiko would say. The real Yukiko would never say something that disrespects the value of a life in that way. Don't be deluded. Whatever happened to Yosuke is happening to Yukiko too. I I don't understand the details, but Yukiko had a complete change of heart.
Yukiko.
What the? You could?
When I draw my sword, Miss President quickly tries to stop me. But I can't answer her right now. If the battle will clear up the pointless misunderstanding between us, then the time to fight is now.
Ooh, now that's our senpai. You'll show no mercy, not even to a girl if it's for your own goals. You're a real bastard with a sister complex. Keep it up and bring 'em all down.
Oi. I ignored the tones being delivered in Risei's voice. Even if our words aren't getting through to each other, even if our words aren't getting through to each other and we have to fight without understanding what's going on, we'll come to an understanding later. I have to believe, both myself and my friends. I hold my sword to the side to protect Miss President, who is standing behind me.
Sorry, but you need to stay back. Whatever you see here, try to stay calm. Promise me you won't run away.
What happens next will probably surprise her greatly, but I doubt Miss President will run away. She's already shown me how strong her determination is. I glance at her over my shoulder. Although she looks worried, she still gives me a slight nod of agreement. Now, time to do this. I must end this as quickly as possible.
Soda.
I concentrate all my senses to summon my strength of heart, my persona Izanagi. If I allow myself to go easy on Yukiko, she will surely defeat me. Yukiko smiles faintly and takes her battle stance. She resisted the idea to protect Miss President, but she seems to have no qualms whatsoever about fighting me. There's definitely something else controlling her.
Come, Konohana Sakuya.
Yukiko's black hair forms graceful arcs in the air as her persona. Konohana Sakuya rises behind her. That's right. The usual Yukiko should have a beautiful heart. That's right. The usual Yukiko should have a beautiful heart like this. Wait for me. I will save you.
Finally! Fight!
Izanagi! Persona!
Ow! That was a close one.
Close battles. You both fought well.
There are joke endings in these particular story modes. I forget which ones are which, though. I forget who exactly had joke endings. I mean, I think there are like 4. I don't remember entirely. I know. I think like Kanji has one. I think I know Yukiko has one. I believe it's either Akiko or Chie has one. Maybe both. I'll have to check the walkthrough when we're done.
The winner is you, Senpai! What an utter thrashing!
I love all this animosity!
Good God.
These cocky, self-righteous friends showing how they really feel by beating the crap out of each other. That's the real thrill of the P1 Grand Prix!
I don't care to hear any more of Teddie's jests. I still have reservations about fighting against my friends, but I now know that there is no other way to save them. I'm resolved to do what must be done. Also, there's no knowing if Teddie and Rise may have been affected just like Yosuke and Yukiko had. If they are, there's no use in trying to talk them through the talk to them through the monitor like this. That's the conclusion I have come to. But Miss President seems to have other ideas.
How much further are you gonna push this? Why are you doing it anyway? These guys are friends. What's so much fun about making friends fight each other?
Miss President vents her frustration at Teddie's image on the monitor. But I was a bit surprised at how she worded it. She seemed more upset than she was that he was making friends fight each other, not why he had dragged the entire school into this mess. We've only just met her, but she clearly sympathizes with us and understands the pain we're going through. I'm embarrassed, but proud at the same time. A girl with such compassion would be a great student council president. It's no wonder she was elected to represent the student body of Yasogami High.
It's all right. Thanks, though.
It's not all right. This is.
She's worked up, and she's still worked up, and she lashes out at me. Perhaps her heart is a little too honest. But her anger sets my mind at ease. She's right. That General Teddie is doing nothing. What General Teddie is doing right now, cannot be forgiven. I glare at the monitor.
Sorry, but you're not getting your wish.
What?
Did you think this would be all it took to break us apart? That it would make us hate each other? Sorry to say, but that's a huge mistake on your part. I believe in my friends. They'll never get taken in like that.
You're so stupid! What kind of sensei are you?
I'm warning you now. If you really are Teddie, then we'll get you back to normal no matter what it takes. Even if it costs us our lives. But if you're an imposter, hiding behind Teddie's face, I will make you pay for toying with us.
Teddie scoffs and turns around. The monitor suddenly switches off. Suddenly turning on us without any sign of remorse. That's not like Teddie at all. No, he's most likely not the real Teddie. Seeing the anger in his face only strengthens my suspicions. Straightens? What was I saying? Someone might be taking Teddie's form and to make it look like he is the one committing these acts.
That girl's come around.
I immediately rush to Yukiko's side.
Yukiko, are you alright? I'm sorry I couldn't go easy on you.
No, it's okay. You weren't your usual self, but I could tell by your eyes that there was something going on. I'm sorry too. Did I hurt you?
Kinda, yeah. I sure wouldn't want to get into it with you again.
I try to pass it off as a joke, and we look at each other and laugh. Things are going the same way as they had with Yosuke. It's becoming clear now.
Hey, did I say things that offended you earlier?
Yes. You did.
Yukiko hesitates and says that remembering it is a difficult experience. What in the world did my illusion say to her? I bet it was something horrible. Whoever is doing this is certainly finding the most annoying way of getting us to fight. but what I supposedly said to her doesn't matter. Yukiko is still hesitant to bring it up, so I tell her not to worry about it.
I don't need to know what I said. I just wanted to see if my guess was right. It looks like our enemy has the power to confuse our senses. My first opponent was Yosuke, and he told me a similar story after we fought.
Huh? You said something bad to Yosuke-kun too? What did you tell him?
You sure you want to know?
You don't want to know. If I'm the only one admitting to what happened, and that's not fair, is it? But that curiosity is in line with the Yukiko I know. I evade the issue with a smile and call out to Miss President, who's standing behind us.
What kind of people are you? Hmm? Oh, right. We used our personas.
Yeah, we should at least explain to her what's going on.
She did say everything that had just happened. This would be a good opportunity to tell her everything. I introduced Miss President and Yukiko to each other and fill in the parts that I had left out of my previous explanation. I tell her about the personas. I tell her that we're actually in a world inside the television. And I tell her how the scenery here changes according to the hearts of the people who enter it. She looks doubtful while I'm talking, but considering that she has just seen our personas only moments ago, she doesn't immediately deny it. Still, it seems she can't accept it all either. She crosses her arms as if lost in thought. On the other hand, it seems that Yukiko didn't know that Yasugami High had a new student council president either. Yukiko apologizes for not having paid attention to the elections in April.
That's it in a nutshell.
So, that's what you meant by falling into a TV.
Yeah, which makes me believe this school could be a part of your mind that's materialized.
This school came from me? That's a lot to swallow. I'm not surprised. Why is it different this time around, though? Usually the victim's shadow appears first.
That's right. I had doubts about that too. There's a reason why it's dangerous for people who can't use their personas to enter this world. Besides the obvious reason, such as not being able to escape and being unable to protect themselves from shadows, a person's shadow separates from them. The shadows that split off are strongly attached to the original people, and they come the shadows that split off are strongly attached to the original people they come from, and will try to harm them in order to become independent entities. I hadn't given it much thought since Miss President seemed so energetic, but it's still possible that this has happened to her as well. I put this together with the conversation I had with Teddie a moment ago, and come to a conclusion.
Teddie, who's hosting this tournament? What if he's actually this girl's shadow?
Huh?
I noticed he got agitated when I called him an imposter. A fake Teddie would mean he's someone else using Teddie's form.
I see. If this place reflects Miss President's heart, her shadow must be here. And right now, the strongest candidate is...
That's right. If we both saw an illusion, then at the very least the enemy has the power to delude our senses and make us see and hear things that aren't there. On top of that, it can alter what it can alter what others hear us say and see us do. If it can do that, then I can easily see that our enemy can use that power to change its appearance. It means that means it could be impersonating Teddie and leading in this tournament. That still leaves the question as to why it would take on the appearance of someone it doesn't know. I've seen shadows in the past that took on bizarre appearances, but this is the first time I've seen one impersonating an existing person. Does the shadow have some kind of objective? When I come to my senses, I see that Miss President has turned pale and is staring down at the ground. All the talk of shadows in another world doesn't seem to be reaching her, but she seems troubled that the thought that she might be causing all this trouble. I'm about to tell her that the actions of her shadow aren't her fault, but Miss President rises to her feet.
I'm gonna check out the announcement room. That General Teddie's behind the whole shebang, right? And if he came from me, then I gotta own up to the responsibility. As student body president, I can't let this go.
Wait, you're being reckless. We'll take care of the shadow. You need to...
What? Get out of this TV world? And how am I supposed to do that? Go on. Show me the door.
Well...
Her eyes are filled with the fires of determination. But just as her eyes are filled with the fires of determination, just as they had been when I first met her. Her sense of responsibility and awareness of her duty say that she will never back down.
Your little cousin's in the announcement room, and you're gonna go save her, right? I might not be as strong as the two of you, but I'm no slouch in a fight. Wouldn't it be better if we went together?
No, don't you understand? This world is...
I know it's dangerous, but there's gotta be something only I can do to help. Hell, that aside, I can't leave after causing so much trouble. Making friends fight each other. I'm going on ahead. You don't want to waste time arguing, yeah?
Miss President, Miss President declares in a voice that brooks no argument and takes off running. Yikes! I wasn't expecting her to behave rashly like this. I can't not read suddenly. I remember how fast she can run. If I'm going to go after her, I need to go at once, or I'll lose her.
Please, you have to go after her.
Yukiko sees me hesitate and knows exactly what to say. She's right. There's so much we don't understand, but there's no way the investigation team can let a victim run off to die. Yukiko ignores the fact that I've been leaving her here alone and tells me to follow the girl she's only just met. This is the exact opposite of the behavior she'd been displaying before the fight. Now that is the Yukiko Amagi I know. I'm ashamed that I had even slightly let myself be confused by the way I heard her speak before, and I answer her.
I believe in you.
Yukiko nods to me, and I turn and begin running as fast as I can. I have to rely on the faint echoes of footsteps ahead to pursue Miss President through the school. I can't use my memories of the school in order to navigate because the invisible walls are everywhere, but the announcement room is upstairs. That obviously limits the path that she can take. I will catch up to her no matter what. I've been running after Miss President for a while, but I still can't catch sight of her. She's so fast, it's almost supernatural. I even begin to think that her path may not be hindered by the invisible walls. Wait a second. Now that I think about it, she's not a participant in the G1 Grand Prix. She didn't appear in the introduction video, and even though she'd been there when I faced off with Yukiko, she wasn't affected by the rules. Could she be able to walk through these walls? If so, then catching up to her will be quite difficult. Just as I'm thinking this, suddenly a blue door opened in my path. I've seen this before. This is the entrance to the Velvet Room. I don't have time to deal with this, or so I think. But when I consider the timing of its appearance, I can't help but feel that there must be a reason for it. I make up my mind and reach for the door. As I walk through the door, I feel a slight sense of lightheadedness, and I close my eyes reflexively. When I open my eyes, I'm seated in my usual position, and Margaret is smiling quietly at me, as if nothing is different. When she sees that I noticed her, she speaks as if aware of my impatience.
You seem flustered, but time has no meaning here.
Margaret politely points this out, knowing that I am in a hurry. Time is meaningless, huh? I thought that I had figured out a few things about this room, but it seems as there's still more for me to learn about it. If time doesn't pass while I'm in this room, then I should concentrate on what she's about to tell me. Once again, if I'm reading, as if reading my thoughts, Margaret smiles.
It seems you've emerged victorious and have come away with a piece of the truth. Though you are in a garden of deceit, you have the vision to go forward. Very impressive.
Is that student council president's shadow really the cause of all this, then?
Who can say? All I know is that you are getting ever closer to the truth. There is one thing I can tell you.
Margaret's golden eyes are fixed on mine.
That girl's shadow is the cause of this misfortune. She will face her trial. But it's separate from your fate. You have your own trial to overcome. Keep that to heart.
My own trial?
I don't mean to, but I repeat what Margaret had just said.
Everyone sees various things in you that draw them to you. Salvation, hope. I myself find fascination in watching over you. Fate may not be the author of your trials, but you are destined to be tested.
Margaret smiles mischievously and nods towards me. Another slight feeling of lightheadedness passed, and I return to that otherworldly school. The blue door is nowhere to be found, as if it had never been there to begin with. I look up. I still don't understand what my own trial is supposed to be. But for some reason, my mind has cleared up a bit. In any case, I need to keep chasing after Miss President. And now I immediately see a recognizable feature. Her long ponytail. Well, I found her.
It's too dangerous to go alone.
Miss President turns around and in response to my voice. She's smiling. I wasn't expecting that at all.
I'm impressed that you managed to catch up to me so quick.
This calmness. Had she expected that I would follow her? I'm beginning to feel like she's toying with me. But I understand now. Nothing I can say to her will change her mind. There's no helping it then.
Promise me that you won't leave my side, and you can't do anything rash. If you can't agree to those terms, I'll have to force you into protective custody. This is a matter of life and death for you.
Sure thing. Then let's get to that announcement room together.
I thought that I'd be able to keep her in check by saying that her life was in danger, but she doesn't seem to take any notice. She just shrugged and accepted my proposal. She's quite hard to deal with. I'm not sure if she knows how I'm feeling, but she speaks up.
Mind if I ask you something?
What is it?
There's a moment of silence. Just as I'm about to ask her to go on, Miss President continues.
It's tough, being forced to fight your friends, huh? Sorry. You don't gotta answer.
She must still be thinking about my fight with Yukiko. True, I'm slightly hesitant to talk about any of this, but it's a question that must be answered. That's how it feels to me.
You're right. If I could avoid it, I would. But I believe in my friends.
You mean your friends won't hate you after the fight? Or you think they'll understand that you don't really want to fight?
I don't know. Both, maybe. I mean, there's no way we'd fight each other without some kind of reason.
Oh yeah, for the record, Persona users tend to attract other Persona users, so I'm sure that's not going to play into anything at all. I study Miss President's face. But when she opens her mouth, she has an unexpectedly a gloomy look in her eyes.
You had to kill each other.
Yikes. That's a question. Kill each other. I truly hadn't anticipated that question. I'm caught off guard by how I and even considered it. It's true, there's no guarantee that this General Teddie won't suddenly decide to make a fight to the death on a whim.
Sorry, that was probably over the line.
I wouldn't let it happen.
Sorry about that. Is there a log? Yeah, backlog. Sorry, I was probably over line. I don't know why I said that. Even if I was forced into such a situation, I would never follow that order. That's all I can say right now. But after hearing my answer, Miss President casts her eyes down again. After seeing that behavior, how do I put this? I felt a sense of incongruity. Why could that be? Something doesn't feel like her. Could Miss President be carrying some unimaginable burden that she has yet to confide in us? Is it so heavy that she would ask us that question of me? Speaking of which, if General Teddie does turn out to be a shadow, what does that mean about whatever repressed thought she truly has? Suddenly it seems that her courageous and cheerful demeanor are a mirror image of that, and a slight sense of fear chills my spine. My thoughts raced through my head while we walked down the hallway. Ow!
What are you doing?
I thought I broke my nose for a moment. It's that invisible wall again. Even though I should have been expecting them, I relaxed my guard and walked right into one. I hold my nose and wave away Miss President, who looks concerned.
There's an invisible wall. I don't think I can go through here.
An invisible wall? Oh, that must have been why you broke out of the mime act every now and then.
I love that descriptor.
Well, if I can pass through, it must only be blocking the tournament fighters. This world sure is out there.
Miss President walks right through the plate I bumped into. So that must be the case. As I imagine, Miss President is unaffected by these walls. Is it because she's not one of the fighters in the Grand Prix? Of course, as General Teddie really is her shadow, maybe the normal rules don't apply to her. The entrance of the school building is ahead of us. But perhaps worst of all is that the wall I had just walked into is blocking me from reaching there. I'll just have to find some other way. No, there are walls there too. And the same can be said for the direction toward the entrance. A thought crosses my mind as I check back the way I had come. It's as I thought. Another invisible wall has formed where I just passed, and I can't go back. With walls in every direction, there's nowhere I can go. I'm trapped. And if I can't go anywhere, this can only mean one thing.
Be careful. This probably means...
The moment I call out to Miss President, General Teddie appears on the monitor in the entryway. It means my third round of the G1 Grand Prix is about to begin.
Is your snout okay, Sensei? Jeez, you're such a klutz.
You're still using that form? It's getting old. Why don't you just show your true self?
Boy, you've gotten peevish. I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Sure you don't. I was intentionally trying to rile him up, but he wasn't falling for it. It looks like I'm not going to get him to reveal anything that way. I quickly changed tactics.
Okay. So who's my next opponent?
Ooh, now you're getting into the spirit of things. Let me guess, you're starting to enjoy beating up your friends? Okay, with the next challenger, come on down!
If I remember right, the General doesn't pick up my intention and loudly yells at what appears to be his pre-battle catchphrase. Smoke pours out. And who should appear from the smoke but the person I was expecting to see? 4 of us entered the TV together. I've already fought against... sorry. I already fought against Yosuke and Yukiko. Then...
That's what I thought. You're the last of us, after all.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd be next, too.
Che laughs along with me. For the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her. Words and actions, with her words and actions, but I can't let my guard down around her. After all, I felt the same way when I encountered Yukiko too. But, as they say, the third time's the charm. I have to see if Chie is in the right mind. I decide that the best way to do that is to be calm and start a conversation with her.
Chie, you know what they're doing, right?
Before I can begin to explain, Chie cuts me off.
Yeah, I know. The stuff we say gets twisted around so we end up fighting each other, right? Don't worry. You're the son of a bitch who left us as soon as the last case ended, but you're still our good friend.
Wow!
I mean, you have it easy. You're just fighting your friends. I had to keep killing over and over, all because of you humans!
I'm sorry, what? Now this is obvious. Chie is clearly not herself. It's so blatant, her words don't offend me at all. Moreover, it's not just out of character, but Chie would never say anything like that. And you humans? That's as good as confessing that you're not human. Oh right, carnivore was it? This president is watching us from nearby. She looks more dumbfounded than worried. Still, what Chie said at the end caught my attention. I had to keep killing over and over.
Stuff about killing, huh? Miss President was talking about it earlier, too. This must be.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
This one sounds like a haunting type of thing, doesn't it?
I'll give you a taste of the pain they put me through!
She's not even trying to sound like Chie anymore. I can't even begin to understand what she's talking about. Yes, yes, it hurts. Yeah. But if a shadow is intentionally making people say these things, what does this mean about Miss President? Killing each other? All because of humans? What kind of secret past could the new president, student council president of Yasugami be harboring? No, now's not the time for this. I'll have to look into this after we've cleared up the confusion between us. I ignore her words and draw my sword. Immediately, Risei's voice echoes through the area, as if she was waiting for this.
Well, round 3 star may have a slight advantage. Will you, Senpai, all talk and no skill, manage to eke out a win this time? Let's get this show on the road. Ready?
Here we go. Oh yeah, bookmark first.
Finally. Fight.
Ow.
Alright, it's over. Time to leave.
I was expecting that to be a bit harder. I won. I lower my sword and begin slowing my breathing. I don't believe I've injured Chie too badly. Considering this was my third time having to do this, I feel like I'm pretty good at not having to seriously wound people in a fight.
Wipe that smug look off your face. This isn't fun at all.
General Teddie has seen that the fights ended without any injuries and spits his words through the monitor. The image on the monitor then disappeared without anything further. Let him say whatever he wants. I fought all the friends I came into the TV world with, and none of them were hurt. All that's left is to head to the announcement room and make sure Nanako is safe. And then we'll be able to go home. I walk over to Chie and help her off the ground. She's come back to her senses, and she seems a little sheepish. Should I actually do it? You know, you did go through her pretty easily. Yeah, I did.
Hey, that's mean. Man, you are strong, though. I'm kind of shocked at how much of a difference there is between us.
Look who's talking. I've never been kicked around so badly in my life. I mean, he didn't kick me that much. I wait for Chie to reach her feet and then tell her everything that's happened and up to this point.
So the others are safe, too? What a relief. I was pretty worried.
Chie is so relieved that she sits down on the floor once more. I can't help but smile at that reaction. She really does care about her friends. Yeah, these are the people I believe in. Seeing us exchanging smiles like nothing was wrong, Miss President sounds perplexed when she speaks up.
You guys really are tight, aren't you? Makes me jealous.
Well, we did spend a whole lot of time together last year because of that case. Sure, I was surprised to hear such weird stuff coming from him, but I know he'd never say any of that to me.
Every time they mention this, I gotta wonder what exactly I said.
Wait a sec. Who are you?
Oh, I forgot about that. I quickly introduce Miss President and tell Chie that she may be a victim of this case. But Chie looks again at Miss President suspiciously.
Huh? The student council president? You mean ours? That doesn't seem right. I remember the new president being a guy.
What?
What are you saying? I'm the student council president. Who else would I be?
I'm pretty sure, though. Maybe if you told me your name, I'd remember.
Who would have thought Chie would have been paying attention to that?
My name...
Miss President stops moving. What's going on? She can't tell us her name? That's not that strange a question, is it? But for some reason, Miss President seems unable to answer. I sense some kind of incoherent melancholy from her. Interesting. She said we were saying weird things. Yeah. She and I share a tense glance.
My name's...
What's wrong?
My... memories... No, I don't want to fight anymore. Why do we have to kill one another?
Kill one another. I gasp when I hear the words fall from her mouth. I don't know what's crossing her mind right now, but she's definitely not acting normally. I glance at Chie, then try to approach Miss President in the hopes of calming her down. Whoa! Without any warning, Miss President begins flailing her arms, as if trying to ward off demons that only she can see. Chie reaches out and touches her in concern. Miss President's arm catches Chie and easily knocks her aside. What power! I barely managed to catch Chie before she slams into a concrete wall. Still, this sudden breakdown. What in the world happened to Miss President? Once I've helped Chie back to her feet, we carefully approach her from both sides. This will be a little rough, but it can't be helped. We can't ask her anything while she's like this. But at the moment...
What?
No way.
Before I know it, Miss President's flying through the air. She was jumping. For a moment, I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. This is no ordinary leap. She was at a standstill, but now her entire body is suddenly higher than my head. Her jumping ability is unbelievable. She and I look up in astonishment as Miss President kicks off the ceiling to change direction and lands at a full run.
Wow. Who is that girl? Did I say something to offend her? She did mention something about her memories.
Come to think of it, her memories did seem a little muddled. Maybe she was on the verge of getting them back.
What kind of memory would make her go nuts and run away like that?
But all of the... yeah, they do. But all of us jump over people's heads in battle. Yeah, we do. I can't answer Chie at all. What if you had to kill each other? I hear Miss President's sad voice in my head. Chie apparently wasn't expecting me to answer her, and she continues.
Make sure you rescue her, okay?
And that's not even using the super leap, yeah. Fighting game logic. But I guess this is the visual novel portion, so they're going off the original RPG logic. Her voice is strong and confident. To drive the point home, she pokes my chest with her finger, as if ordering me. Even though she might be in danger herself, she's still worrying about others. All my friends are like that. That makes me really happy right now. I ask Chie if she's all right on her own. And she fires back, "Let me worry about that." I nod to her and begin running after Miss President once more. To be honest, I feel sorry for the poor sod who tries to attack her. I nod to her and begin running after Miss President once more. I will save her, no matter what.